Welcome to this Cara webinar. Cara Connect is a secure digital workstation that is designed and used by professionals in health, welfare, and educational support. It provides all these professionals with a secure workstation that integrates all kinds of work modules like calendars, waiting lists, and online portals to be able to reach further to meet your clients wherever they are. Today we will see all the modules that Cara provides, and in the end we will meet Tinna Sigurðardóttir, a speech therapist that has been using Cara since 2016. She will tell you all about how it was to start, what she does to introduce Cara to her clients, and all the tips and tricks she knows. I hope you enjoy this webinar. Please reach out if you have any further questions.
Welcome to this webinar for Cara Connect. We're going to show you how to use the platform and show you some of the basic functions and features, and hopefully you will be up and running in no time if you watch this webinar. So let's start with the first thing that greets you when you log in. It's this calendar view, and this calendar view is basically where you can see all your sessions, where you book your sessions, and where you get an overview of how your calendar looks. You can change the views here on the left side to month views, week views, and day views. And here on the left side you can also see all your team members, and you can add in new team members here. So to go into settings, you go up here in the right corner, click and select settings. Here in the settings you will see your account settings here and your office settings here below. Below the office settings you will see that you can add some integrations. If you are charging for your service, start by going into integrations, select Cara Pay and add the integration. When you add the integration, you need to put in some details about you and your company, and add the bank account and an identity document. And once you've done so, you will be able to receive payments for your sessions and the service that you provide. So after you've added this integration, the Cara Pay, the next thing I'm going to show you here in the office settings is services. In services, you can add in new services. Simply click on Create New Service, select the title that you want or create it. Select the currency and make sure to select it from the drop-down box here. Put in the rate and put in the duration and select Save. Now what you've done is that you've created a service which you can use when you're creating a session. You can also create discounts here under service discount and just create new discount. Select that. Select which type of a discount it is. If it's just a normal discount, test session, absence, cancelled, whatever. Put in the percentage. And select Save. Once you've done these two things, you've added in Cara Pay and you've added in services, you can actually just start straight away to go and create a session. If you go here into sessions, what you can do when you're creating a session, there are two ways of doing it. You can either click here on Book a Session, which will give you this page here, or you can click here on the calendar wherever you like. Let's say here at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, or no, let's say a little bit later, 3 o'clock on a Thursday. just click on the calendar and you get the same page up. If you are creating a session for a new client, you need to select add a new client. Put in his email. Select which language that you want. Select if the client should use electronic ID. This is only for Icelandic people, so you don't need to worry about that if you're not in Iceland. Select invite. And now you select the service that you just created. And it would automatically fill out the duration. And you have the session type here, the video session in place meeting. You can select if you want to repeat the session, and you can put in a small description for yourself. Now, once you have added the client, you need to make sure that you select him from this drop-down. Select him here from the drop-down list, and you can select book session. Now you can see the session is here. This was really simple and is set up really easily. Let's go back into settings and let's go over all the settings that we have in place. Here in account settings, you just have your basic settings for the account, which is pretty self-explanatory. And the profile information, you can put in some information about you that will be displayed on the client side if you are visible to all clients. You can select that a little bit later. So here under security, that's your password and electronic ID if you're Icelandic. Under office settings, you go into office information. Here you can put in your logo, you can put in the name of the company, put in the description, and these are things that will be displayed to the clients when they are searching for service on their site. Here under visibility, you can actually select if you want to be available for everybody or not. You can also be private, then you're just visible to your own clients that you invite in. And you can also select here how they connect to you. You can allow them to send in a request asking to connect and book a session, or ask to connect to a specific professional. Make sure to add in a bookable service that if you are visible. Here under services, we've gone through this. This is where you create your services. And you can have multiple services. You can have free services with no amount, or you can have also with the amount that you desire. Under team, here is where you actually add members to your team. This is the same thing that happens if you select plus team member on the calendar view. Where this is where you just put in the email of the person, and select add. And once you've done so, he will go here under pending members. And once he has confirmed his invite, he will actually be here in the pending members, and when he does confirm his invite, he will go here down into become a full-on member, and you will see him here under manage members. If you want to change the role of your team member and give him more rights to view the settings and see the calendars of other people, you can change here the role to administrator. And here you can also select the visibility of your team member if you are visible to clients and if you selected that in the visibility. Here under client registration, this is where you actually select the information that you require of your clients when they are signing up. So you can put in just tick whatever you feel that you need to have. If you, for example, are charging your client, then I would advise you to select the credit card and make that part of their onboarding process, that they need to put in a credit card. There are two ways of onboarding your client. One is to send them an email through the invite, as we've done in the book a session. The other way is to send them through this link, the direct client sign-up link. What I would advise you is to put this link on your website and have a link where people can sign up and request a service with you. So this is what will come up if you send this link to your clients, or if you just put it on your website, you can send people to this link. And what will happen is that they will fill out this form here. And this is the client consent form. If they fill out this service request, they will end up here under clients. You will find them. And you will find them here under requests. Here you can see the pending request from a service request a client just filled out. And you can accept the request. And you can link them to a professional. Now this client has been linked to this professional, and they can start having sessions. So let's go back into settings. So we were here in client registration. We're going to continue and go here. The billing, that's just your subscription plans. The integrations. So let's go through the integrations. We have the SMS reminders. We go here into SMS reminders. If you add those this integration, you will get a custom text message that you can send to your client. You can customize it as you please. Just make sure to write around these fields here. Do not replace them, just write around them, and it will automatically pick up the right information. Here below you will be able to select when the reminder should be sent out. You can have it 10 hours or 24 hours or 48 hours or even as little as 1 hour. And this is a really neat integration, and really nice to have these reminders. This is for free. Cara Pay, we already went over that. Let's go over the client consent. When you're doing the client consent, just go here. So here you can add in your new consents that you need to have for your clients. We have a suggestion of a template which you can use and just adjust to your needs. Each time that you change it, you can publish it and obtain consent, or you can publish it without new consent. So each time that you make any changes, we will also keep the versions here of these client consents that you have created according to GDPR regulations. Then we have the electronic ID, which is for Icelandic only, so I'm gonna wait with that. If the time comes that the session is up, is due, if the session is due, then we'll select the session, go into open session, and that will take you into a prep room. The prep room will give you some information about the actual meeting that's about to take place. You will have your notes here that you can start writing some notes, and if you have older notes, it would appear here below. Of this client, it would appear here on the notes history. You can see your camera here, and you can see if your mic is working. And once you're ready, you can join the session. So this is where you're in the session, and this is pretty standard environment for people having these online meetings, and you should know your ropes around here. The one thing that I'm going to show you is if you screen share, for example, you select here screen sharing, and you can, let's say that I would like to screen share this here. So now I'm actually, now you can see that I'm screen sharing here below, and I can show the person whatever I want to be doing here. And if you want to stop screen sharing, just select stop screen sharing. Now I want to show you what you can do here in this session is that you can have this online chat with the client. This chat is deleted after the session, so make sure that if you want to keep this information, to copy it somewhere else. Here on the right side, if you select this one, you can put in the notes. And these are securely saved by us and kept in a secure environment and decrypted, and these are not visible to the clients, of course, and just make sure that you select save here when you're doing these. Alright, so, and once you are ending the session, make sure that when you end the session, you select here, you can see the services that you provided, and you can put in a discount here, and this is basically where the charging takes place. Remember to select evaluate video session quality and select confirm, and once you press this button, you will the payment will go through. Here of course we're in a testing environment, so there's a failed payment, but this is where the charging takes place. So make sure to confirm the actual end of the session. Alright, I'm going to show you a little bit here about clients. So here in the client section, you can see actually an overview of all your clients. And you can see both the ones that you have invited via email and the ones, basically the ones that haven't accepted your offer. You can resend invite if you want to send them a reminder. And you can see the ones that have accepted your invite. And then you can also see the requests that you have, where people have gone through this link that we talked about in the settings and have submitted a service request for you. And you can see the ones that you have accepted here as your clients. So you can still, this is a pretty nice overview to have of all your clients here. Next thing I'm going to show you guys is that if you want to see an overview of your sessions, and you can go here into payments. And here in payments, you can actually see all the services that you have been provided or your team has been providing. And so let's see. So for example, here I have an overview of when the session took place, which client it was, which professional, which service was provided, and how much it cost. And I can filter using these filters here. Select service. And I can filter according to which service it was, or even which professional did the service. And if I want to export this, I select export. And and I can save it in an Excel or a CSV document. So this is a pretty nice overview to have of the services that you and your clinic or your team is providing. Okay, so I think I am done with all the basic needs. I'm just gonna go over a little bit what we covered. So we talked about the basic things that you need if you want to get up and running ASAP. You go into settings and you activate Cara Pay. You create the services and you go and book a session. Then we talked about that there are two ways of onboarding clients. You can either invite them via mail or you can send them the service request link and they can actually sign up themselves and send you a service request. And you will see both the invites that you sent and the requests that they have put in under the client section. We've talked about how to add your team members and how to change their roles from a professional to an administrator. And we talked about when you're in session that you make sure that you have this in chat that will be deleted. You need to make sure that you're not going to keep any information there. You need to copy it somewhere else. If you want to have write some notes, you can do that securely and safely, and those will be kept not visible to the client. We talked about the reminders that you can put in, SMS reminders, and also that the client consent form that you can put in. We have a template which you can adjust. I believe we managed to cover most of the basics. If you have some troubles, I want to remind you that we have some help sites that are where we have all our articles and video tutorials and frequently asked questions, and we are constantly updating those. And please remember to go in here and check out all the tutorials that we have put in place, for example, like we talked about. If you have any trouble in general, always we are here. Feel free to talk to us and check us out, because we will hopefully always be ready to answer your questions and get back to you. So this was a rundown of Cara Connect, the platform. I hope you enjoyed it, and if there's anything, always feel free to reach out to us and we'll get back to you guys. Thank you.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about tips and tricks when it comes to online counseling. So one thing you have to have in mind is that maybe your client isn't used to being in front of a camera, not used to talking to someone online. So for me, I think it's good to address that. Like if the person is already insecure to meet you or meet you online, you can just address that and you can say, yeah, well, it's for the first time talking to someone online, it's a little bit weird, but then you will get used to it. So that's one of my tricks. Another thing you should bear in mind is that you should have some kind of protocol regarding your communication. So you should maybe it could be how you're going to receive information. Are you going to ask your client to fill out a form? Are you going to ask him to send you some data via email or via normal postal blah blah blah? Mm-hmm. So it's necessary to tell your client how you want him to send you this information. Mm-hmm. So that's like all sorted. Mm-hmm. You should also tell your client beforehand how the therapy is going to be. You are going to book him these how many sessions, 5 sessions, 10 sessions, and you have to tell your client what will happen if he's not going to show up. If you're going to make your client pay, your client has to know before. You cannot make your client pay and he didn't know before that this was the arrangement. So I think this is very important. One of the things that I found a bit difficult was that I was really, I had my mind on, I have to maintain eye contact. And I was always like staring into the camera. I mean, this is not necessary. I mean, you can just watch the screen and the other person is also just watching the screen, and that's just fine. I would say now I am just so used to being online. I like it more than being non-line, like I call it. It just makes so, if you have your protocols ready, I mean, you introduce to your client or to your client how you want things to be arranged. This is how it is if you don't pay. This is how I want to collect data. This is how I want you to let me know if you're not coming today. If everything is like discussed in forehand, you should not have any problems. And also there's so much time you gain because you don't have this time when you are meeting person, they have to get undressed, they have to go to the bathroom, they have to go and have a sip of water. This time is erased and it's just purely into your therapy connection. I had a moment where I was like, this online thing, it's too hectic, it's too much pressure and I need to meet people in between. But actually it's not like that anymore. I just prefer to be online as much as I can because I just feel my work is much more focused. And when it's done, it's done. I mean, I don't have to wait until the next client is arriving or taking his coat off or whatever. It's just, I can just roll my sessions. And I think this is just a feeling, but I think they are made to be more intense because we're online and we're just, you take away this time for chit chat. It's not so. You save it for later. I share screen a lot with the screen sharing feature in Kara. I can share documents, I can share web pages, I can share my iPad. I do that a lot. Where I am engaging with the child in some activity through iPad. We use documents we can both write into. So just we are using the features to its fullest. I work with a lot of young kids, down to 4 years old. And it's not a problem at all. Many people would say, like, what are you going to do if the kid is running away? But we are using our resources so well, and there's so much you can do as a telepractitioner that we just use our resources very well to engage with the child and make sure it's a positive experience. And if you just make sure it's a positive experience in the beginning, you will succeed. You will succeed.